little warm, you know. So in the wintertime, I don't mind it so much, but this time of year, I don't know what the heck it was out today, 80-something, mid-80s anyway. So I like to at least keep it cool. I had some bad luck with some cheaper tubes in there, but I found an old set of tubes that are rock solid. So when you set it at 60 watts on the 7300, it's 600 watts out on the heat kit. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, did you have to, you know, I'm not real familiar with, well, I mean, I know lots of people that are running the heat kit gear, but did you have to put a soft start in that to work with the exciter, or how did you have to get that set up?
Well, actually, a guy that I bought it from last summer did all the modifications. He restored it. I mean, if you look at it, really, it looks like it just came out of the box. He retired from Northrop Grumman and wanted something to do, so he went after this amplifier, and he put all the mods in it, and it's got the soft start. But you know, it's just an RCA jack from my 7300 going to that. I don't have the ALC hooked up, so I really haven't quite figured out what that's for. But I just set a delay for, I think, 25 or 30 milliseconds on the ICOM. And that's all I'm doing right now. I haven't had any problems yet, really, to speak of. Go ahead.
Well, I think that's great. We're fortunate. We've got an amateur radio store here in the metro, and I bought lots of equipment and radios from them over the years. The owner, his name is Dan, just a terrific guy. And I bought the 7300 second week of January, and doing a little bit of horse trading with another radio and so forth. And he knew I was running an amplifier, and he asked me. He suggested that I buy this keying cable that has that accessory plug in the back of the 7300. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about back there. He says people will use the RCA cables, and it's such a hard start. He says they can actually lock up over time, and he suggested that they use this cable. I didn't know if you'd had any issues about that, or if you'd had or heard of anybody that did. I'm not suggesting that you will or should change it over. I'm just kind of curious if it's something you've heard, or maybe I got taken for another $30 there, Roger.
Well, it's probably a good $30 spent device, really, from what I understand. This has the soft start, and I also have the delay, from what I understand, set in the radio, so you're not arcing the keys or the relay. And the other thing is now, here's the other deal. As far as I'm concerned, everything seems to be fine. Everything that I've researched and the way I have it set up here is fine. And like I said, this amplifier has all the mods in it. So, and it has the soft start and all that stuff. So, but the thing is I have old Kenwood gear. I have an old 830S, and I have a 520S that I want to use with the seat kit. And so I've seen online they make adapter cables, and there's also a interface box that I was recommended, and that's probably around $30 or something. So as far as that goes, I think with those older radios, I would probably use the interface box, but I just haven't gotten it, or I haven't gotten to that yet. I would love to use the old Kenwoods with this heat kit, but I think the interface box is probably a good thing to have. Go ahead.
Well, they're awful easy to get, but awful hard to pay for, and really don't want to have any issues. We bought a Yaesu FTDX10 in February. We knew we were looking after that radio, but they weren't out yet, so we did buy the 7300, and we wanted to have it as a backup. And we had the FTDX10 for about 2.5 months, and it went sideways. It would not transmit any power whatsoever. So we sent it to Yaesu in California, and they had it for about 5 weeks. Didn't know it at the time, but they have a 3-year warranty, which is really nice. And so they were able to get it repaired and shipped it back, which was nice. So again, amateur radio, you probably know this as well. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So like you said about having redundant or backup systems, that's where the 7300 definitely came in. And I thought maybe it was something with the keying as well, but apparently it was the preamp, the PA in the other rig that had gone bad. And of course, it's just it's equipment. It is what it is, and nobody's intentionally going out and making stuff that's substandard. It just happens. And I told him, I said, I don't want it until it's repaired correctly. So it worked out in the same. But and again, I'm certainly not trying to suggest there's any issues or whatever. But this is expensive stuff. You hate to miss a step, whatever. I didn't know that it would require this. If it's a safety feature and it continues making it work, hey, I'm all fine for it. We generally use this radio and this setup when we run portable. We were in portable last week in Colorado for a week, and we had this same setup with radio, amplifier, same dipole type of antenna out there, and made sure we bring the keying information or the keying cable and that stuff with us, so we didn't want to have any problems. But it's pretty cool. I will give you this though, having those vintage, I don't say old, but vintage radios, and you can get that to work with the heat kit. I mean, that's got to be really satisfying. And I do understand about the glowing tubes. When fall and winter comes around, I'm sure there'll be a real benefit as well there, Roger.
Yeah, I had it in here last year, last winter, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But man, I tell you what, I experienced some stuff with some other tubes, some cheaper, newer tubes, and the ones I ended up finding were RF parts from back in the 90s, early 90s or something. A pair of, I can't think of them, 6L6s, I can't remember what they are, the number for whatever reason, but I put those in there and they glowed differently than the other tubes did. They were more of a brighter color, super brighter, and man, they're just rock solid. So I don't push the amp too hard. I think the most I've driven these things is 65 watts, and that'll put out 650 watts. And I think at one time when I stuck them in there at first, it will put out 800 watts and still in the grid. So I just keep it around 59, sometimes, a lot of times around 49 watts, put out about just under 500 watts. When I use it, that's how I do it. Randy, K0RWB, K8OFC.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Of course, this solid state, I believe, about 550 max. And we try to keep it, maybe a little with voice inflection. Usually it has a dial and an analog as well. Probably around 450, may hit 500 on peaks. And we've had it for 10 or 12 years. We bought it used from HRO in Phoenix, and has served us really, really well. It was our primary amp for a long period of time. And the new amp that we have, we bought that in December of last year. It was an ACOM 1000 out of HRO in Dallas. It was a 6-month-old return, so it has all the new updates and so forth. And it's a 1,200 watt rig. But I'm like you, 5.5, 6, maybe 750 on peaks is really about all you really need. We don't want to push it hard. We're operating it currently on 110. It handles it just fine. It's on a single tube. I think it's called a CX, either a 5 or 800. It's a pretty expensive tube. But we've got another menus, and it has a lot of redundant safety features. You'd really be hard-pressed to hurt the amplifier. Again, it's a tube amp, which I'm going back to that, but it takes less than 10 seconds to tune it, which is really nice. So, again, this is a combination of things. I mean, most people don't drop, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 for an amateur radio. It's a combination of over the years and, a little bit here, a little bit there, and you've kind of built up your shack. But I'm not really looking at having to replace anything anytime soon. We did our upgrades. We did an 8-year upgrade. That was the amp in December and then radio January and February. So I think we're done for a while there, Roger.
Yeah, I hear you, Randy. I did the same thing here. I did an upgrade. It started before all the pandemic stuff started. Kind of started, I moved my shack from an old room. It was real crusty. It's been there for years and years, and we just decided to make that a bedroom. And I put this ham shack is now off the side of the kitchen. It's off the side of the kitchen, so it worked out pretty good. And then last summer or last spring, I decided to finally get a new radio, which I've never owned, so I got this radio. And I've been a ham since '81. So it was the first new rig, and obviously it's got all these cool features, so it's a really cool radio. I don't have any problems with it at all. I think it's awesome. But I like my old stuff. I like tubes. I play a guitar, and I like tube amps and tube this and tube that, really. But so that's and then we redid the tower. We got a high gain beam on the 47 or 8-foot tower, and took that down and fixed the replaced the rotor and polished the beam last year. We redid all the water saturated coaxes. So everything was really bad here. Till the end of last summer, I finally, I think it was early last fall was when the beam went back up and all the wire was replaced. Strung a couple new wires here and painted the tower too, and the whole shooting match. So, and then my brother went to a swap meet up in UP of Michigan this summer, and I just happened to be up there at the same time with my wife. Him and his wife were camping, and he went to the swap meet, and I didn't make it there in time, but he found me an 820, it's an 830S, and got a really good deal on this, and he said he wanted, he's like, hey, I found one for you. I've been looking for one for years, and so that was a new addition this summer. Wasn't really planning on that, but the price was right and couldn't turn it down, so I kind of got that here with my 520S. So I like the old Kenwoods. That was the 520 was the first radio I ever operated when I was a kid. So, and I've had this particular one for a long time, and they just run really good. They're really tough, and they knock on wood, they hold out quite well. So anyway, we'll send it back to you there, Randy. K0RWB Kilo Alpha 8 Ocean Fox Charlie.
No, that's terrific. No, I certainly understand that. One of the things that we try to do with the thing here in the evening is that we try to come up, and I should have mentioned to you in the beginning, but anyway, I'm having such a great time talking with you. It kind of slipped my mind, but now that I've got it in front of me, but we try to come up with either a different topic or something to talk about or whatever. But one of the things that we wanted to try to do tonight, and want your input as well, is how do you handle negative comments on the air? Somebody may make a comment about your equipment or how you sound on the air or how you handle yourself and so forth, and that's kind of the theme we're going to do tonight. And I'm just kind of curious if you've run across that, Jeff, and how do you handle that there? Go ahead.
Well, I think you said Jeff, it's Ken, so that would be considered a negative comment, right?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
So that's probably how I would handle a negative comment. I've ran into a lot of different characters over the years, and you just gotta roll with it. I haven't really ran into too many really horrible individuals. There's a couple out there that are still on the air that I have actually talked to. That's extremely horrible hams, but I don't know. I dance around them or whatever. I don't get too worked up about it. I guess I was a ham that learned how to learn Morse code to get into the hobby, and at the time when they got rid of that, I was probably one of the guys that was a little upset about it. But so to me, I tell a lot of hams that was my worst blow, was when they took code away. I knew it was going to change the hobby. So you had to thicken your skin up, because if you're going to have to deal with any rough characters out there, that was the time it was going to start there. Randy, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, we try to change this around from time to time, and again, you caught it really easy when I said Jeff, and you did an immediate correction. And I've heard that in the past some people just let it roll. They just won't say anything. And I think the best thing, of course, is, hey, this is what it is. I know you didn't mean it, or whatever the case may be. No, and we've had this off and on, and we've wanted to do something like this for a while, and we just haven't got around to it. We were doing other things and so forth. But again, we try to make this, informative, maybe entertaining, and see what people think. I mean, the thing I do like about amateur radio, Ken, is there's something out here for everybody. you know, and whether it's CW or phone or RTTY or FT8 or the digital modes, whatever it may be, there's price points for everybody as well. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be successful on the air, especially here on 40 meters. You know, 100 watts in a wire or 25 watts in a wire will do quite well. And so again, you know, we've run across characters, we've run across good operators, you know, from years gone by, to operators who've had a license a couple of days, and this is one of the things that we wanted to kind of talk about and just get people's input. So I appreciate you know, give me what yours was, and again, you caught on really quick when I said Jeff instead of Ken, but that's okay. That's kind of how it works. But anyway, I did want to get your input on that. And again, if you're interested, again, you've been really solid. I hope I've been the same way. But gosh, you've been 5 and 9, 10 to 20 over just about the entire time, and the audio is great. So I love the desk mic, working really, really well for you. But anyway, if you're interested, give a look and a listen on the channel there on YouTube. I've got a link on my QRZ page that takes you right to it, or you can go to YouTube and go to the search bar and just type in my call, K0RWB, and you know, look for the video with today's date, and it'll say live, and you're the first. We've been talking here about the entire time, but if you're curious about how you sound on the air, this would be a great way of doing it there, Roger.
Oh man, now I got stage fright. Oh man. No, I'll have to check that out. I'll check that out, Randy. I don't know if I want to listen to it or not, but I will check it.
Well, let me ask you this: Do you use external speaker? Do you use headphones, or as a speaker in the rig? How do you listen to it?
Oh, I've just got this external speaker hooked up to this radio. Actually, what I do use, which if anybody out there has one, I highly recommend them. I use an Oddcheck Research. I don't know the actual name of it. It's a QF1A filter, and what you do is you just put this thing in high pass mode and turn everything to 11, and it's amazing what it does for the receive with a 7300. It just there's times when I can't hear somebody and I turn that thing on and it just clears it right up. And I've got that in line with that ICOM speaker. Go ahead.
Oh, I think that's great. Well, again, if you wouldn't mind, if you go into the channel and go to the live chat, type me a message on the speaker and and what you're using for it with the IF pass, I think you said. But yeah, I'd like to get that information. I use a headset, and again, me personally, I do not sound like anything in the headset that I sound on the air or in the recording. And I always thought in the past, oh, that sounds great in the headphones, then it's going to sound great on the air. Well, it didn't work out that way. I started checking in with a friend of mine down in Cutler Bay, Florida. His name is Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. He's been doing the live stream for a couple of years now, and I checked with him off and on. This is back probably first part of January, and then listened later on the playback. I go, oh, gosh, that sounds absolutely atrocious. So we started making a few little adjustments and so forth. It sounds really bad in the headset, but it sounds better in the air or on the air. But anyway, I think it sounds good in my receive. I certainly don't want you to get any stage fright. And we're just, like I said, we're having some fun with it. I think people enjoy it as well. And we wanted to kind of throw the question out there. We appreciate your inputs on it as well. I can see we've got some people here on the chat that have finally checked in. And we've got one comment for you. November 3, Papa Kilo Juliet says, oh, gee, you telling me sounds great. So there you go, Ken. We've got people checking in who can hear you out there as well. So you sound terrific here. So take it from some other operators out there in the air that hear you. I think you sound good as well there, Roger.
All right, well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you taking the call here, accepting my call here. So anyway, Randy, I'll let you send it around. I don't want to be the only guy on the on the channel tonight. Anyway, thanks again. We'll say 73. We're going to listen here for a bit, and I'll probably check out your QRZ page and see what's going on there. So I appreciate it. We'll send it back to you, Randy, and thanks again. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and we'll catch you later. We got you logged in here. K0RWB. This is Kilo Alpha 8, Ocean Fox Charlie.
Well, the pleasure has been all mine, and I appreciate you taking the time and had a great conversation with you. And this is what it's all about. It's just sharing information, past experiences, and so forth. That's what we like to do. So, anyway, Ken, just kidding. The pleasure's all mine. I do appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much for coming back to my CQ. I hope we have a chance to work again. We try to be out here 7 o'clock Central here in the evenings. Generally 40 meters, but sometimes 20, depends on how noisy it gets. So if you hear us again, please take time, stop in and say hi again, and we'll just kind of see what's going on in your world at that time. So in the meantime, thank you again. You and yours be safe and be well tonight, and hopefully have a great what's left of the week. Kilo Alpha 8, Oscar Foxtrot Charlie. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. Thank you again, Ken 73.
Kilo Charlie 3, Hotel Whiskey.
WB.
The Kilo Charlie 3 Hotel station again, please.
Charlie?
Kilo Charlie 3, Hotel Whiskey. I've been listening to your comments, and I agree with everything you had to say there. I have a project, though, that I need help with. I want to get my Forstall States Award from the ARRL, and I need stations or QSL cards from Montana and North Dakota. I wonder if you guys have either of those.
I have not received. I don't get QSL cards too often. I have a few that are up in my alternate shack, but those two states don't ring a bell offhand. I did want to verify real quick though with the call, because I know there was a couplers out there as well. If I typed it in right, this would be Jim. Kilo Charlie 3 Hotel Whiskey. Is that a Roger? Is that okay? Let's verify the call. Kilo Charlie 3 Hotel Whiskey. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Be more than happy to have a quick queue with you, but I want to make sure I've got you in the log properly. For some reason, there's a disconnect between the brain and the fingers when I type it in there. But anyway, we've got you. No, I don't get QSL cards often. I do think it's kind of a lost art, so to speak. The way I look at it, if someone's going to actually take the time, to sit down and write the information and send the postage to someone, it means something. It's a little bit more personal than maybe some other methods that are out there. But we finally got a batch of cards in ourselves. Usually when someone asks for one, we'll send them out, but it's kind of few and far between right now, Jim. There, Roger.
Okay, very good. I'll let you guys go and enjoy the rest of the evening. This is KC3HW Clear.
Well, thank you very much, and nice to hear you from Pennsylvania. That's definitely the longest trip we've had tonight, so thank you so much for taking the time to say hi. We do appreciate it, and hopefully we'll have a chance to work again. Kilo Charlie 3 Hotel Whiskey, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Any other stations, please?
Radio Charlie.
Okay, the Radio Charlie again, if you would please. Radio Charlie.
Yeah, Randy, this is Len at KD0RC, Kilo Delta 0, Romeo Charlie. I'm in Colorado. My station is in Broomfield, Colorado, and I'm up in the mountains fishing, so I'm operating remote from my fifth wheel camper. Go ahead.
Hey, Lynn, that's not fair. No, that's just not fair. You can't do that. No, first off, you're in Colorado. We were just there last week, and now you're running remote while you're fishing or up in the air. Oh gosh, I don't want to hear it. Well, thank you so much for giving us a call this evening. There was a few others, but we're able to pull you out there. Nice to hear you this evening. Again, the name here is Randy. In the QTH, we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. There, go ahead.
Okay, Randy, real good. Yeah, you're a solid 5x9, sometimes just a little bit over that, into Broomfield. So very, very nice signal. Very clean audio, by the way. Your signal just sounds great in all respects. Go ahead.
Well, that's nice. I appreciate that, and I'll send it back your way as well. Very nice, clear audio, which is very, very helpful. Yeah, know exactly where Broomfield is. We spent 2.5 years in Aurora, and we spent 11 years in Colorado Springs. We still have family in the Front Range up in Fort Collins, and we were there. We were there for about 10 days in Black Forest, which is on the north side of the Springs there. Roger.
Yeah, real good. Yeah, I know all those places. Very good. We're practically neighbors for a while there, I guess. Well, that sounds great. Just looking at your QRZ page, I have a cell phone hotspot here that I'm using to make all this work. I'm running a Flex 6400, and then that's out to a KPA 500 amp, and then a wire antenna up about 30 feet. And then the other thing that I'm using here that I wanted to try tonight is my something I call a Teensy Maestro. It's a little homebrew gizmo that I built to let me have buttons and knobs for my Flex radio, and it's working remotely. So I'm very happy about that.
Oh no, it's working really well. And I was just going to ask you about what you're using for internet, and it's funny you should say that. You know, they do work. We did some portable when we were in Black Forest, and we have a wireless router that we actually use here at the QTH. We live in the country, and of course it pulls signal from cell towers, and we used it there and worked just wonderfully, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, we do like working portable. It's a lot of work, but a lot of fun as well. So it's just one of those things that you know, we wish you could do more of. But we loaded up the camper and did what we could, and again we spent some time with family and friends, and we certainly missed the no humidity or very, very low humidity. We came back here and kind of hit you in the face. But I wanted to tell you real quick, Len, that we are live on YouTube tonight too. We try to do this in evenings about 7 o'clock Central here on 40 meters. So we're live on YouTube. But one of the things that we were trying to get people's input from is with your time on the air, how do you handle negative comments? Whether you know somebody wants to talk about or bash your equipment or how bad you sound and so forth, but just in general, if you're dealing with even a round table or one-on-one and negative comments, how do you handle it on your end there, Roger?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, first of all, I'd say I don't get many negative comments. So that's for starter. I don't have to deal with that very often. I go back to my novice days, and I had a very bad chirp on my homebrew crystal-controlled rig, and a Canadian ham not only helped me get that fixed up, but he wrote me a great letter explaining why I was having a chirp on my signal and everything that I did, why what I did fixed it. And so that's the kind of comment. I wouldn't even think of that as a negative comment, but it was a criticism of my signal, but it was a good one, and it was something I needed to hear. So generally speaking, if somebody tells me, oh, your audio's muddy or something like that, I don't take that negatively. I just listen to it myself and make my own decision at some point, but I don't let that get to me, that's for sure.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, that's a great way to handle it. Again, you know, I always say to each their own. We've run across it from time to time, and I actually had some conversations with some other operators. A good friend of mine who lives in New York, we have spoken about this actually over the phone, not so much on the air, and kind of the same consensus that you're talking about. We either you know, say, well, this is the best we can do. We're not trying to impress anybody, or thank you for the input. We'll certainly take a look. My thing is, if somebody comes across garbled or it's clipping really bad, I don't want them to damage any equipment while they're trying to have a conversation with me. And I feel that maybe we should, you know, hey, make sure you're not hurting anything on your end, because, you know, this, generally speaking, this stuff's pretty expensive to replace there, Roger.
Yep, exactly right. And So I think of it sort of like finishing your teeth, right? Wouldn't you rather have somebody tell you it's there than walk around smiling at everybody at the convention?
Yeah, I think you're right. I really are. There are some folks that just really have a hard time, not saying anything negatively per se, but or if the audio is if they're a little off frequency or what have you, I have no problem saying, hey, what frequency are we on? Where you're a little bit low, whatever, those kind of things. Again, I think by and large, the ham radio community is a very helpful group, and we certainly would try to help any other operators, to ensure that they're not damaging the equipment or, making sure that they can operate, more efficiently, better performance and so forth. And again, we've run across this from time to time. We do make different topics every once in a while. And tonight we thought we would start with this, and I know there's some operators, have had a lot of negative comments or situations, people keying up on top of them or just the incandescent dribble and what have you. And I just thought we would kind of make that a topic tonight and just see what happened there, Roger.
Very good. Interesting topic for discussion. So I take it there's a group on here? I just thought I was grabbing a single conversation. Go ahead.
Well, you are, but we also have people in the live chat here on YouTube on my channel as well. So we've got different people that are on the live chat that are making comments as well. But, yeah, it's you and I right now. I'm sure there's some other people listening as well. But, again, it's this is really all informal. It's just we try to have some fun with this. And try to bring a little bit of entertainment to it. I think sometimes there's some things that a lot of information can be shared. There's a lot of operators with different experience and backgrounds, and they have certainly taken the time to give us their opinions on things and so forth. And this is just kind of a topic we came up with tonight. There's no really right or wrong answers, of course, and we're just having fun and trying to see where it goes there, Roger.
Yeah, very good. Well, that's great. I applaud you. That's a great way to go. I'm in a bandwidth constrained situation, as you can imagine right now, so I won't be able to look at that live feed. But when I get back home, I'll check out 40 meters another night and see if I can find you and join the fun that way as well.
Well, I'll tell you, it is live, but it also records. So if you're interested in listening to our QSO, see how you actually sound on the air since you're running this equipment remotely, you can go to my channel one of two ways. On my QRZ page, I have a link to the channel. You can click on that, or you can go right to YouTube, go to the search bar, and type in my call sign, K0RWB, and you'd look for the video with today's date, which is August 18th. And I think maybe about 25 minutes in, thereabouts, you could fast forward to that part. Lynn, that's probably pretty close to where we started. Give a look and a listen and see what you think there, Roger.
Perfect. I will do that when I get back. I join the FlexNet every Sunday morning or Sunday noon Mountain Time. And they also record that on YouTube. So I usually go back and listen to myself. You're right. It's a great way to check your signal and see if your equalizer settings are halfway decent, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it really is. And again, I mentioned this earlier with another operator. What I sound like in the headphones is totally different than when it sounds on the air. And it doesn't sound good in the headphones at all. So you can just imagine. I can just imagine what it sounds like on the air. But we've had an opportunity over the last several months checking in with other operators who were doing live streams and, of course, listening to the ones myself. This is about as close as what I sound like in person. Love it or love it or hate it, but that's just kind of how it is. But again, that's just one dimension of it. Again, we try to have fun with this. People like to take the time to stop in and say hello. We like to do that as well, and we come up with different things from time to time and get people's input. Again, sharing information, share some stories and so forth makes it fun as well. There, Roger.
It sure does. I really like it. By the way, I'd be interested to know what transceiver you're running. I'm watching my waterfall display, and it's very filled in, meaning that your equalizer is such that you're getting kind of the most bang for the buck out of it, but there is zero splatter, absolutely nothing outside the railroad tracks that define the edges of your signal. So it's a really phenomenal signal, Doug.
Well, I did that on purpose. Well, I'll just have to give the radio the credit. This is Studio B. This is an alternate shack that we have in the basement. We have a Studio A, which is upstairs, but when the wife's on conference calls or Zoom calls or what have you, doesn't want to be bothered, we come down here. So we run a 7300 here, and we have this paired with a Heil Pro Elite headset that we think we've got it dialed in pretty good. And we run in a 40-meter dipole. We've borrowed the antenna off of Studio A tonight. It's about 38 foot off the side of the tower. And the power amplifier in this shack is an old 10-tick Hercules 2. It's a solid-state amplifier. And it does about 450 to maybe 500 on the peaks. Nothing real special. This is the equipment we take with us when we go portable. So we had this same setup last week when we were out in the Black Forest, Colorado Springs area as well there, Roger.
Okay, very good. Yeah, well, that 7300 is a really good rig. Probably the best bang for the buck rig that you can buy these days. The price and the performance, the price is right and the performance is out of this world. So I think you did well there. Yeah, that old Hercules 2 is a great amplifier. I'm running an Electrap KPA 500. I've been a ham since 1970, and just last year, I bought the amplifier. That's the first amplifier I've ever owned. So I'm feeling pretty happy about my station right about now.
Yeah, well, I would be too. Well, you know, there's not very many amplifiers out there that are work 12 volt, and this will do that. And we have, on occasion, portable run the amplifier with 2 deep cycle marine batteries, and we use a third battery to run the radio, a laptop, the wireless router, and an external monitor with a 1,000-watt inverter. So we'll take that with us as well. So it can be a fun setup. One thing I did want to mention, when you have a chance to go back and listen to our QSO, on the channel, we do have an S meter that shows signal strength. We also provide an audio scope so you can see your voice inflection, and we also have an audio spectrum scope as well, so you can see where your peaks and valleys are at on your audio as well. So it's kind of a fun thing. It's a third-party software that we use for the ICOM. On our Yaesu, we're actually able to put the actual radio display up on the screen, but Yaesu, or this particular radio, does not have that DVI port, so we can't do that. So we use a third-party software. But again, it's kind of a fun thing. You know, if people want to make little adjustments to the audio, that kind of helps them give an idea where to start and so forth. But again, on the 7300, I've never heard one bad out of the box, but you can tweak them and make them sound really good as well there, Roger.
Yeah, for sure. That's really great. I just switched over to Vox. I'm using a headset. It's a Yamaha CM500, cheap headset I bought off of eBay or off of Amazon, and this is the first time trying it with this computer set up here. So I'd be interested to know if the Vox is sounding good or choppy. Go ahead.
No, not a bit. Matter of fact, when I watch the audio spectrum, you've got a nice little peak on the mids at about 0.50 to 0.75, and you've got another little valley about 1 hertz, and then you start to see a little peak again on your mids around 150 to 1.75, and then another valley again around 2.25. And then it comes up again around 2.75. So again, you're right at the edge. I think you're probably running about 2.8. Doesn't look as though you're running any wider than that. So again, that's kind of cool. I can actually watch your audio on the spectrum there and kind of see where you're at as well. But no, the Vox and the Yamaha headset sounds great in my receive.
Okay, great. Thanks. You never know until you really try things out. And interesting, you talked about the high frequency. I do have the high cut on this set for 2,800 hertz. I don't like being too wide, and so I just up at 2800. So that sounds like you're seeing that pretty well on there.
Yeah, I am. And the majority of your signal is really kind to fall off at 2.75. Now, who can really see 0.005? I don't know, but you're certainly not even close to being at 3 wide. So again, I try to keep my signal that narrow. You're doing the same as well. And again, it's just kind of a fun thing we play with, and hopefully it works. And so far, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of fun. That is great. Very good, Randy. I was really glad that we hooked up tonight. I can't wait to give all this stuff a shot and take a look and see what my signal sounds like. Those meters that you're talking about sound very interesting. Go ahead.
Well, I can't take credit for it. It's a third-party software that works for Icon radios, and they did a terrific job. Now, you can tweak things and kind of set the scale and what have you. You know, the voice inflection on the audio scope, okay, yeah, I get it. But to me, the really cool part is the audio spectrum, where you can actually see the highs and lows on your audio and see if you're, you know, within that 3 kc window, or if you're a little bit over, or a little bit under, and so forth. And again, you know, I don't put a lot of stock into a signal meter, strength meter, because it's single sideband, it's modulation, but you know, it's there, and I can see it on the screen on the 7300. And again, I'm enjoying it. I think people there do enjoy it as well. And if everybody gets something out of it, hey, great.
Yep, exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. And that's kind of the fun thing about the hobby. We all get to do our end of it. I like camping, I like fishing, I like ham radio, so I like to do things where I can put them all together. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, I wish you could see the ruckus on the live chat. We've got a lot of people that are making comments. Got to say hi to my friend Joe K5YVY out there as well, and Kevin and a few others. So, yeah, when you get back to civilization, Lynn, I hope you are able to take the time to give a look and a listen and see what you think. I've enjoyed the QSO, and again, everything you've using tonight just sounds terrific. It really does. And even with the Vox setup, I hear no delay. You know, sometimes it cuts off that first syllable, but you've got it dialed in just right. It's not cutting itself out. There's no clipping, whatever. So I think it's very, very cool. And again, I hope we have a chance to work again, you know, sooner than later. And I hope you have a chance to check out the stream as well. And always looking forward to comments, whether they're positive or negative. There, Roger.
Okay, Randy. Well, that sounds good. Great chatting with you. I'm looking forward to looking through all that. There's been a couple other hams who've done live streams, and I've been able to watch my signal as I transmit. It's kind of fun. I can't quite do it live today, but I'll do that when I get back. We're heading back for home tomorrow. I'm at Spinney Mountain Reservoir, by the way. You may know where that is. It's west of Colorado Springs, about 8,600 feet or so. Well, with that, I'll say 73, thank you very much for the conversation. It was great talking to you, Randy, and looking forward to running into you again someday. This is KD0RC.
Now, Lynn, the pleasure is all mine. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your comments, your input. And again, this is what it's all about, at least in my book. We really do enjoy it, and we appreciate you taking the time this evening. And yeah, we know Spinney and 11 Mile. I could tell you some stories on both of those, but that's for another conversation. We'll have some fun with that. Hey, enjoy your trip up there. Again, it sounds great. Hopefully we'll have a chance to work again. It'd be great if we were able to work portable and remote. That would be kind of cool as well. Maybe we can that'll happen one day. Hey, enjoy the rest of your evening, and have a safe trip back, and look forward to having a chance to chat with you again. Kilo Delta Zero Radio Charlie, the Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo Randy in Kansas City. Take care, Len. 7-3s. Okay, thank you, Len. Take care. This is K0RWB in Kansas City, QRZ, and the other stations. Come with the call.
As the analyzer. W5 APL.
Whiskey 4, Juliet.
Let's see, the Whiskey 5 station again, please.
Whiskey 4, Juliet Lima Echo.
Yeah, Whiskey 4, hang on 1 second, I'll get you. The Whiskey 5 beats you right under the wire.
Whiskey 5, Echo Papa Lima.
There he is, Whiskey 5, Echo Papa Lima. Boy, I didn't realize that crazy out there. Hey, good evening, Eric. Hey, thanks for giving us a call. What's happening down in Starkville area there? Go ahead.
Oh, everything's good down here in God's country, Randy. Enjoyed listening to you a little bit. I know there's like 40 or 50 people wanting to talk to you, but I just wanted to give you a holler. We talked one time right after I got my license and got my 7300, probably about 3 months ago. Over.
Yeah, on April the 16th, on here on 40 meters. And how about 20 over? God, what a great signal tonight.
Yeah, I've got you 20 over also. I've had a few additions since we talked that last time, but anyway, I picked up an amplifier and I picked up a hex beam, and although I'm not on it right now, but anyway, it's just great to hear you. I just wanted to give you a shout, my friend.
No, I think it's great. Well, you can't go until you tell me the equipment. First off, the hex beam, who's it made by, and what's the amplifier?
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't want to make anybody mad, but of course, this 7300 into a ALS 1306. The hex beam is a KIO, 20 through 6, and I've only got it about 30 foot high, but like I said, I'm talking to you on a off-centered dipole right now. Over.
Yeah, well, you did great. You did great on the amplifier. The hex beam, well, okay. K4 KIO. I know they've been out there. That's all right. I'm looking forward to working you when we can both run our hex beams. Mine's NA4RR, Roger Rockwell out of Pensacola, Florida. Might be a little partial, but hey, they all work though. Hey, congratulations. The terrific amp. Gosh, great amp. I don't know if you're using it or not, but I don't know if you need to, me and 20 over, but I am really, really surprised. The band has just been crazy tonight.
Yeah, Roger, I do have it on. I'm pushing about 1K right now, and but anyway, yeah, I did a little reading, listening to you, and I saw you had that one from Florida, and I don't hold it against you, my friend. Matter of fact, there's things I like about it better than I do the one I've got, but the one I've got's talking all over the world, so I'm happy with it also. Over.
Well, that's the whole idea. It really is, and the only thing I'll say about Rogers, it's a poor man's beam, and that was a poor man when I got it, 2012, and it survived a lot of ice and windstorms. It did come down early this year only because a guy wire on my tower was guyed to a 1.5 foot size limb you would never think would go down. It went down, and of course it took the tower and the hex beam, but we broke 2 spreaders, had those up and running in a couple of days, and then she's back up doing her thing. But I'll tell you what, I know there's bigger and better antennas out there, but for me, the good bang for buck is that old hex beam, Roger.
Hey, Roger that. Well, look, my friend, I'm really, really new at this. Like I told you when I talked to you the first time I got my license, got my ticket the first week of March, and I have been having a blast ever since, and I've learned a lot of things. When I put up this first one, I learned a lot of things, how not to do it next time, and I've got a buddy that's got a bucket truck, and I'm fixing to, when it cools off, it may be cool up there where you are, brother, but it's been hot down here in Mississippi. I'm gonna put mine up a little bit higher because I'm just basically at about 30 foot, and I got an H50, and I'm gonna try to get this thing up about 45, 50 foot, and see if that will improve it a little bit. But anyway, that's the next project. Over.
Yeah, I think that's great. Well, I don't know about what the specs are on that particular hex beam, but I know when I talked with Roger when I bought mine, he said optimum was between 30 and 50 feet, and I've got a 40-foot tower, and I've got it about 5 foot above, so I'm sitting at 45 feet. Now, does it change the takeoff angle any? I don't know. I will say this, that generally speaking, if I hear you, I can work you. And that goes a long ways. At least it does for me anyway. And yes, I do know about the heat and the humidity, so don't feel bad there as well. But so give that some thought, though. I think I don't know if there's really any benefit going above 50. Maybe somebody else can comment on that. But I haven't heard of anybody who's running a hex beam that's really any higher than 40 or 45 feet. I mean, you can certainly, give it a go if you've got the means to do that. Mine has worked really well for me at 45 feet. That's just about the extent of the tower anyway, and we didn't want to have a mast too much above that. My rotor, Eric, is inside my tower, 4 foot off the ground. So I run a center mast pipe with 2 thrust bearings halfway up and 1 at the very top. So I don't have the rotor weight at the top either there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, I'm putting this on, like I said, a mast, and my thrust bearings at about 14 foot, and like I said, right now I've only got it about 30 foot. But I'm gonna redo it all, and I'm gonna try. I think that H50 gets you about right at 44 foot, and that may be all I do. It may be all I do, and see. I've heard that the sweet spot's 40 to 47 foot, so. And I've heard that from everybody on all the different ones. I don't know. I don't have all the real high tech on it, but with a little bit of power with that 1306, it has made a world of difference of talking to people all over the world, people you would hear before and couldn't talk to. So I'm just looking forward to it, hoping maybe it'll help me get out a little bit more over.
I have no doubt. Well, congratulations. I think that's great. I mean, it's really simple, at least on my end, as I can hear the enthusiasm in your voice, and I can really tell that you're having a great time with the hobby, and that means a lot. It really does, because it's infectious. I think because when you start making QSOs and you're talking about your equipment, and they can hear the excitement in your voice, and it gets other people excited as well. So I think you're a great advocate for the hobby. Congratulations. And, I mean, gosh, you've got a great setup there. There's really not much more that a person would really go to. Again, the rig is what it is. I got the same thing here, and you good, clear audio, that's always a big plus. The antenna will do what it wants. Of course, when we're down here, off-center fed dipoles or just a regular dipole or inverted L, 100 watts on a wire works really good down here. But I'm extremely happy for you. I know you're excited about it as well, and I can see just bigger and better things for you there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, I gave up riding a motorcycle to get into ham radio because I got tired of running into the ditch, avoiding people that were looking at their phones. So I took that money and put it into ham radio, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm having more fun now than I did on a motorcycle. And that's hard to be truthful about there, my friend. But I have gotten a little older. Over.
Wait, that's great. Well, if you think it's bad on a motorcycle, and other drivers looking at their phone, try being on a bicycle. I gave that up just because I didn't want to get hit on the road anymore or get stuff thrown at me or called names and that kind of stuff. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So you can probably run field day and have 4 or 5 operators around you, but generally speaking, we're here in the shack by ourselves most times, so we don't have to worry about any collateral damage, we hope anyway. But gosh, it's always nice to hear you out there, and it's been far too long. A lot of problems on my end, of course. We haven't been out as much as we'd like, but I'm very, very happy that you took the time to give us a call this evening, and we have a chance to kind of catch up. And again, I'm really hoping that we'll get a chance to work on one of the other bands where we can both use the hex beam. So you're not that far away. I think straight line's about 475 miles. So I'm sure one of the nights that 20 will be in, we'd have a chance to work on 20, no doubt. But again, congrats on the equipment, the upgrades, and be curious, once you get the antenna up, and give us a report on what differences that you're able to hear and stations you're able to reach with the altitude of getting it up another 15 or 17 foot. So that would be really interesting to see what kind of results you get out of it. But Eric, I'll say 7.3s. I'd like to keep talking, but I know there's a few others out there, and see if we can get to a few others while we have some time tonight. But again, thank you so much for taking the time, and I'm glad we got a chance to chat again, and hopefully we'll get a chance again real soon. So I'll say 7.3s now. I'll do mine, and you can do yours. Whiskey 5 Echo Papa Lima, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Yeah, roger that, Randy. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo from from Whiskey 5 Echo Papa Lima. God bless you, and God bless America, and 73s, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much, and Eric, I know we'll talk again real soon. Look forward to it. We'll say 7.3s for now. We'll go ahead and clear with him, and let's see if my friend Troublemaker Joe is out there, another Southerner, so to speak. K5YVY, Kilowatt 5, Yankee Victor Yankee. Joe, are you out there this evening? K0RWB.
K0RWB, this is Kilo 5, Yankee Victor Yankee. Yeah, I'm still here, man. Look at you going.
Well, that's not what I anticipated. I expected maybe 1 or 2 calls a night, and I could turn the switch off. But gosh, I have to give credit to all these people here on the chat and people out here and on the frequency. It's just been a great time. I haven't had a night like this in a while, and don't know if I want it to end so soon. There, go ahead. Appreciate that, and it's been a little bit of time between us as well. Probably a little bit more on my end. Was really hoping that we could have had a few more contacts back here when we were in Colorado running portable last week, but we were able to make a few contacts. My good friend Frederick out in South Carolina and Armando in New York, we were able to work with them while we were running portable, but we were actually hitting stations out in that area that we probably wouldn't get here. So it was an okay trade-off. And we're trying to get this a little bit more of a consistent basis. But sometimes things just kind of get in the way. We can't do it. But hey, when we get out here, we're trying to make a go of it. And I'm just really surprised. The band has been in really, really good shape tonight. Again, back-to-back QSOs in Mississippi, pretty cool. And hopefully it'll continue. I'm not sure, where it'll go, but always nice to hear you out there. I didn't know, I haven't looked lately if you've got any new videos up or what's been going on over there with you there. Go ahead.
Well, Randy, I've done a couple of new videos, I guess, on the 705, and I got playing around with it, and I guess I played around with it a little too hard. I had a screen issue and had to end up sending it off to ICOM Repair. So it's currently at the doctor waiting for it to get repaired. They said they was waiting on a part last week that would take 2 weeks, and this is the second week, and they would call me back in 2 weeks, and I haven't heard from them yet. So maybe by the end of the week they'll give me a call and let me know when I might be able to get my new toy back.
Hey, I know what it's like on repairs. I do. And again, good thing about amateur radio, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So having backups definitely helps. At least it saved me so far with the FTDX10. They had that for 5 weeks, and luckily we had this radio here we could fall back on. And even it had a little stumble, and we had to send it to ICOM, but we got it back relatively soon. So I'm sorry for you, but hey, maybe it'll work out well for you in the end there, Roger.
Well, but the way you carry on the conversations and have a real QSO with folks is pretty unique to your channel, I believe. So I'm going to try to spread the word out a little bit more for you. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I'm trying to think, what's the old adage? You can try to make yourself happy or everybody else, and I don't think you make everybody else happy. And again, I'm just trying to do this because I'm having fun with it, and I think others are as well. Here's the thing, Joe, and I know this from you just from seeing your videos and talking to you. I think if you're really genuine with people and you just, you say it for what it is, I think people respect that, and I think people kind of gravitate toward that. We don't try to make this anything other than, hey, stop in and say hi. We're doing a live stream. You want to watch it. You want to listen to yourself, fine. We have different things we'd like to talk about. We'd like your opinion on this, your comments, and so forth. And that's really all it is. And I think some people like it and some people don't. That's okay. I understand that because you're just not going to make everybody happy. But I think a lot of people enjoy it. And I think as long as everybody does that, and I do too, we'll continue doing it there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that, Randy. You got it figured out. You can't explain it any better than that. That's why there's so many different YouTube channels and videos. That's why there's so many different frequencies on HF, There's so many different things on it. Some people like it, some people don't. So the important thing is just to have fun with it. You have fun, and that's all that counts. Well, Randy, it's good to talk to you. I'm not going to hold it. I'm going to get ready to shut everything back down and go back in the house here shortly. Good to hear you and good to say hello to you and get you back in the log. So I'm going to say 73 to you. Have a great night. Anybody else that's listening, have fun. Enjoy Randy's conversations. And 73 to all those in the chat and YouTube. Kilo Zero, Romeo Whiskey Bravo. This is K5YVY, 73, Randy.
Well, Joe, I appreciate it very much. And I can see why people gravitate to your channel and your videos as well. Again, I don't do reviews on equipment or that kind of stuff. It's just not something that I feel comfortable with. And this is kind of what we do, and it works. But very nice to hear you out there. I'm glad we got a chance to chat really quick, and I'm hoping we'll get that chance again. And we'll be looking for the notifications when you come out with a new video or when you go live as well. I'm going to like to get on your channel from time to time there too. So thank you so much. Always a pleasure. And I do appreciate you taking the time this evening. Kilo 5, Yankee Victor Yankee, K5 YVY. Good old Joe. We'll say 7-3. Take care.
Whiskey 4, Juliet Lima Echo, Randy.
Well, I can't ignore him now, can I? You've been waiting for so long. Whiskey 4, give it to me again.
Yeah, Whiskey 4, Juliet Lima Echo, Fred in South Carolina. We got a new setup here, Randy, and I just wanted to, I knew you were familiar with our signals, so I thought I'd get in touch with you here and see how we're doing.
Gosh, well, can you be any better? I mean, every time I hear you, you're getting louder and louder, Frederick. Well, there's a solid 20 signal. You're killing me. What are you doing now?
Well, we're still on the Zygo G90, but I'm driving a homebrew amplifier with pair of 6146s, and I'm feeding that to a Henry 2KD Classic. So we're running about 1,200 watts tonight. I think we've talked with you anywhere from 18 watts on up, but we're all the way at the top now.
Well, I would say so. Well, it never fails. Whenever you and I get together, we always have this great signal. So we must have a constant opening between us, because in Colorado you were the same way. You're a terrific signal there as well. So whatever you've got in the ground in your area, or don't change a thing. It sounds terrific there, Roger.
I appreciate the flowers. We're still running the G5 RV, but our ground system that we've got underneath it, I've also got tied into my tower and also to my vertical antenna. Got 120 radios underneath it, so we got near perfect ground. And plus we sit on top of this hill here. We're about 640 feet, which puts us about 200 foot above the capital city of Columbia. And we do seem to get out fairly decent. Well, you heard us when we were running 18 watts, so we know what's going on there. Won't hold you too long. I know there's a whole bunch of folks waiting, but I did want to get a certain report. By the way, you're 40 over 9 in here tonight. Over.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Yeah, we're down in Studio B. The background is pretty bland. We took some posters down that were behind us down here and moved them to a different location. The wife was doing some late night work in the office next to the Studio A and didn't want to bother her, so all the equipment we took with us, Colorado Portable, is down here now. And the 7300, the same amplifier, that 10-tech. So if we're in the Studio A, we're probably pumping around 750 to 750 watts. Down here, we're doing 450 to maybe 500. I don't think it's enough to really notice. We did tap into the dipole that we use in Studio A, so that probably helped us as well. And again, I'm just astonished how well the band has been tonight. There's a lot of activity. We haven't had any stations come in. Hopefully, we're not bleeding in on anybody else. And by and large, the signals have just been great. It's probably one of the best nights we've had in quite a while.
Yeah, Roger, Randy. By the way, I would like to ask one favor, if you don't mind. If you could kind of jot down what software you're running there in order to be able to do this, and drop it to my email address, which is mycall@mycall.com, w4jle@w4jle.com. I sure would appreciate it, over.
Okay, you're wanting me to do what now?
Yeah, what I was looking for was what software are you using in order to do this YouTube channel stuff? I'd like to do it on one of the other bands.
Oh, sure. No, I'd be happy to. Yeah, no problem at all. What I'll probably do is either later on the night or first thing in the morning, I'll send you an email with some information. I'll also send you my number. I'm probably a lot better explaining it than I am typing it, but that'd be your choice. Again, I had lots of help getting to where we're at, and I have no problems helping you set something that's really, really simple, and the best part, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. The software doesn't cost anything, doesn't cost anything with YouTube. Matter of fact, you get to a certain point, YouTube starts to pay you. Now, when I use Studio A and I'm broadcasting up there, and I'm putting my radio display onto the channel, well, I did buy a $20 video capture card, but otherwise, Frederick, the software and everything else is free. But I'd be more than happy to help you get it set up, because people help me do that, and I have no problems paying it forward.
All right, appreciate it, Randy. And 7-3, Steve, we'll let you run. I know there's a whole bunch of folks waiting to talk to you, and I do appreciate the report. And you're always a good place where I can now go look at it on the YouTube and get a feel for what's going on. So let me let you run. Have a good one, and good luck out there, W4JLE.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Always nice to hear you out there. One of the few stations that I can count on. You and my friend Todd as well, and Joe. That's great. Oh, and I appreciate it very much, and thank you for your patience. Hope you didn't have to wait around too long, but we try to take them whether we can get them. But with a 20 over signal, it wouldn't be too hard to hear you at all. But yeah, I'll send you information, and we'll connect, and I'd be happy to help you get it set up. And I think you'd have fun with it just like I am. 7-3s, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Whiskey 4, Juliet Lima Echo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Take care, 7-3s. And QRZ, any other stations, please?
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee.
The Romeo Papa Yankee station again?
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee.
Okay, Kilo Echo 8, is it Radio Delta Yankee or Radio Bravo Yankee?
Bravo Yankee.
Okay, my apologies. I'll get it straight here sooner or later. Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee. David, is that a Roger?
That is a Roger.
Okay, well, thanks for giving us a call. Again, the name here is Randy, and the QTH. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
that. I am 10 miles north of the Ohio River on the Muskingum River, in a little village called Lowell.
In Lowell, Ohio. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Wow, great. Well, thank you so much for giving us the call tonight. Appreciate it very much. We've just been having a good time so far this evening and making lots of contacts. Everybody's had great signals and wonderful audio. We just kind of hate the night to end like that, so we'll just keep going while there's some few stations out there, what have you. I will tell you this as well, David. We're actually live on YouTube as well, so we're broadcasting this live. It's also recording. If you're interested in listening to our Q, so later you can just go to YouTube, put in my call sign K0RWB, and give a look and a listen as well there, Roger.
Roger that. I've been monitoring, waiting for a chance to try to make a contact with you on this home-built vertical out that direction. Over.
Well, I'll tell you, you're doing good. 5.9 to about 5 to 10 over. Now, there's not a big distance between us. Straight line, my logger's showing about 660 miles, but yeah, you've got a great signal coming into my receive here, Roger.
Roger that. You're 5.9 into here, and tonight, like I said, it's been raining all day, so I was curious of how the band was.
Well, you know, I felt the same way. We didn't have any rain here. We've had some unsettled skies around us, and we came out here about 7:15 Central Time, and started looking at the waterfall and just could not get over the amount of traffic. So we found what we thought was a clear spot, and started calling CQ, and it's been like that now for the last hour and 10 minutes. And it doesn't look like the band has slowed down at all. I think maybe it's even getting a little better there, Roger.
Roger that. Now, I was trying to get into the East Coast from here, and I didn't have any luck. I'm down in a valley between two hills, so it's kind of impressive to me to get out to the valley.
Oh, so what you're saying is you've got the greatest setup for amateur radio.
Yeah, I'm down in a hole.
Well, you know, now that signal is supposed to go up, so it should kind of come up out of that hole. I'm not sure how far you are to either hillside, but if you can run you a little stretch of coax there, go ahead.
Roger that. I'm right up against the base of the hill on the back side, about a half mile of the hill on the other side. So it does do a fair job getting out.
Well, you know, and that's really what it comes down to, and it sounds like the vertical is working for you as well, so that's great. We don't have the greatest altitude here as well. We're on the backside of a little knoll, so to speak, but we're not down in the deepest valley, so it's an okay location. It's worked well for us the last 16 or 17 years, so, you know, we get to the point where you got what you got, and you work it the best you can there, Roger.
Roger that. I've just been a general since April, so every QSO to me is a new contact.
Well, that's great. Well, good for you, and congratulations on the upgrade there. And I'm sure coming over to the general class, it's probably opened up quite a bit more to you for amateur radio there, Roger.
Roger that. I took the technician test in February, passed it, tried the general then. I think I missed it by 2, and then went back in April and took it again and passed the general.
Well, good for you. That's great. And like I was telling another operator earlier, you know, relatively new hams or operators that have upgraded ticket-wise or upgraded equipment, you can really hear the enthusiasm in their voice, and you know that comes across a lot of times when you're having QSOs. So again, you know, it's a big eye opener from a technician to a general class, and there's just so much more band that you can operate, so many different types of modes that you can operate. That's what I do like about the hobby. There's really something for everybody there, Roger.
Roger that. I tried back in about 1974 to get my novice, and I couldn't get the code. He's the gentleman that was through the high school radio club, and the gentleman that ran the club, he's now a silent chief, and I have been working for this for a lot of years.
Well, then that just means it means more when you got there, didn't it?
Yes, it did, and I am enjoying it, the hobby, and everything, and I really enjoy it. It gives me something in the evenings to do, and that's when I'm on, and usually get on about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening and chase the gray line.
Yeah, you know, and there's a lot of people who do that, and you know, just I think in the last 18 months or so with COVID and everything else, a lot of people have come back to the hobby, and we've had a great number of new operators that come to the hobby as well. And I don't really think there's a downside to that. I do think the hobby is in pretty good shape, and I think a lot of that attributed to the manufacturers who are bringing out you know, newer and better equipment all the time as well. So again, I think it's probably one of the most friendly hobbies out there. I think the biggest thing for new operators to get over is to don't be afraid to ask questions if you're talking to people or if you're listening to QSOs, because that's really the only way you're going to learn, unless you've got a really good Elmer, you know, which a lot of us didn't have when we first started out. But you know, asking questions can go a long way, Roger.
Roger that. The closest Elmer I have is a gentleman in Huntington, West Virginia. I couldn't find anything out about the local clubs, so I went there for testing, and I joined them. And if I've got a question, I can call him on the phone, and he'll help me out with it. Roger?
Well, that's good. You know, if you've got somebody that you can reach out to, or that can reach out to you, and it's really the way it really works. I was very fortunate that I had a good Elmer when I first started, and kind of laid the law down, so to speak, of, you know, what you should and shouldn't do, you know, what's the process of building the shack, and what have you, and wasn't a big proponent of spending a lot of money. You know, getting the bang for buck type of equipment is what he was really into, and that really stuck with me for a long time, and even to this day it still sticks with me. And you know, it's one of those things that you know, I think a lot of operators would benefit from. Roger?
Roger that. That's it. I mean, the hobby, everyone I've even had QSOs with, if I've had a question, I've got an answer, and I take notes, and that way I have an answer to my question.
Yeah, you know, that's a great way to do it. One thing I will say that, in my experience, is you know, most operators are not afraid to give you their opinion, good or bad or indifferent. A lot of time I solicit it because I don't have all the knowledge or in the experience with certain type of equipment or certain antennas, or, you know, how does this work, that work. And if somebody's used a particular radio or a particular antenna, I'd like their input on it, what they like about it, what they don't like. Maybe that would be my next upgrade or what have you. And, you know, by and large, most operators are really forthcoming about giving their information, you know, good and bad, about a particular piece of equipment or antenna. And I think that's beneficial for everybody there, Roger.
I've been the gentleman up in New Hampshire I was talking to, and when the band was opening, he's given me a lot of excellent advice on what to look to. I'm just running 100 watts, and we got talking about amplifiers, and he gave me a good set of information about them.
Well, you know, and there are certainly certain times where, you know, having a little amplifier will certainly help. And a lot of times, you know, on the bands, 40 meters, you can go either way. You know, 100 watts in a wire on 40 meters can go a long way, and a person can make lots of contacts. If the conditions aren't the greatest, of course, it doesn't matter how much power you're running, it's just not going to work. And sometimes it does help. I run about 400 to 500 watts here currently on a 40-meter dipole. It's 38 foot off the side of my tower. Nothing special. but it does seem to work. So that's really all you can ask for. So you know, we just work with what works for us, and we hope for the best. We've been fairly successful, and we like what we use there, Roger.
Roger that. My dipole came down, the paracord broke, so it gave me a chance to redo my tower, and I've got to get it back up. And it worked before I built the vertical. It worked great.
Yeah, you know, and most times there are times when a vertical will work better than an end-fed or an off-center fed dipole, and sometimes just the opposite. So if you have the options where you can switch back and forth a lot of times, you know, that can really can really benefit you. We tapped into to our dipole that we usually have up in the other location tonight, and it's just a matter of changing out a coax connector. And we didn't want to have to run anything separate to run the equipment down here tonight. So this is the same antenna we would have if we were up in the other location. So, and it served us quite well. And it's just kind of how it works. Hey, David, I got about 15 more minutes before we shut it down tonight, but did want to say thank you for your patience, and I'm glad we got a chance to get a QSO with you. I looked in the log and I don't see a contact between us, so thank you so much for the first one. We do try to be out here 7 o'clock Central Time in the evenings, 40 meters, sometimes 20. If you hear us again out there, by all means, give us a call back. Hopefully you get your dipole back up, get your paracord fixed, and we'll have another QSO. I'll say 7-3 for now and see if we might be able to get a couple more before we have to shut it down, but do appreciate you giving us a call this evening, and look very much to working you again. Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, sir. 7-3.
7-3's, Randy, and it has been an enjoyable QSO.
Whiskey 8, Kilo, Australia.
0, Whiskey 4, Tango, Sierra Hotel.
Kilo 8, Mike Alpha, Oscar.
Yeah, stand by. Let him clear, guys. Let him clear. Stand by.
20 over 9 here into Michigan.
All right, hang on, Michigan. I'll get right with you. Bobby, are you in there?
Yeah, I'm in there. Just want to say hello. Don't want to hold you there, Randy.
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to give David a time to close real quick, and I'm sure you guys weren't able to hear. That's not a big deal. But Bobby, how are you doing this evening? Thanks for taking the time to give us a call. I'll look at the meter, but I didn't have any trouble hearing you.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. You're up and down 5'7" to 5'9", Randy. Just want to say hello when don't hear you that often on 40 meters. So when I hear you, I want to get back to you there, QSL.
Yeah, well, you're about 5 or 10 over. I'm starting to hear a little bit of noise on the band. I'm not sure if that's on my end or just where it is, but yeah, by and large, the band has just been really open and great signals so far tonight. So again, you're doing fine here as well.
That's a good deal. You was 5'9" that time there, Randy. It's a little bit of noise in there, not too bad. A lot of stations up and down the band I see on my center adapter here, but anyway, you holding you on. When I came back to you, you had a file up. I heard a bunch of stations there when I unkeyed. All of them want to talk to you, Randy. So I don't know if you're gonna, make it 1 or 2 more. You might be in here for a while there, over.
Well, I've only got so many quarters for the machine, and it looks like the quarters run out at the top of the hour. We don't want to hog the frequency, but what's the old adage? Keep them wanting. Now we try to grab them the best we can, but yeah, we've been very pleasantly surprised how the band has been tonight, and the folks that are out there as well, and which is pretty cool. I don't know why how it happens, but I won't think twice about it. We'll just work it the best we can.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I was just ragging you a little bit, Randy. There was a pile up in there anyway. Bunch of stations hollering at you. All right, my friend, I won't hold you. Just want to take that opportunity, a rare opportunity, to get to say hello and good evening. Sounding good here in northeastern North Carolina, Randy. Good to hear you with such a great signal. No problem crossing you there at all. Take care, my friend. Good luck. We'll listen for you maybe tomorrow night. see what happens. I got here late. I was actually watching a movie with my wife and had to check in on a 2-meter net at 9 o'clock our time here, Eastern time. And but I knew you was on because I get an alert on my phone when Randy's broadcasting on YouTube. Anyway, take care. Have a good night. Good luck, and stay healthy, my friend. Till the next time. KZ Red, White, and Blue. Till then, this is Whiskey 4 Tango Sierra Hotel. Good night, Randy.
Okay, Bobby. Well, thank you so much. Tell the missus hi for me. And, yeah, watching the movie with the missus was certainly top anything that I've got to say. So, always nice to hear you out there, man, and I'm glad we got a chance to chat. Yeah, the plan's to be here tomorrow night, but we'll be back at the other location with the other equipment, but we had to work this tonight. So 7-3's Bobby, nice to hear you out there, and nice, well, the first one in North Carolina tonight, which is usually you anyway, so that's fine. I'm glad to see the band is open there. So Whiskey 4 Tango Sierra Hotel, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, Bobby. Take care, 7-3s. Okay, where's that Michigan station that about blew my doors off? Michigan station, give me your call.
Yeah, Randy, it's Ken here in Boyne City, Kilo Alpha 8 Ocean Fox Charlie. I went and checked out your YouTube page there, and it's pretty cool. Just wanted to let you know that that's pretty sweet, and your signal has improved over the evening here into Michigan. You're solid 20 over 9.
Yeah, you're doing the same thing. Yeah, Ken. Well, I'm glad you had a chance to check it out. I should have warned you that there's a webcam pointed at me. I guess that's the only downside. But again, I'm hoping you had a chance to watch the audio spectrum that I was telling you about, right?
Oh, it was super cool. No, I did not expect that. I was like, oh, cool. So I have a mixing board here with a couple speakers here in the room. So I plugged the phone into that and kind of tweaked it in a little bit and listened to it. I thought it was pretty cool. So I just wanted to say that I'll try to get deeper into that. That was just on my phone. So I'll try to dig into that some more and click some likes and whatnot. And hopefully we'll catch you down the band again, Randy. Anyway, I don't want to hold you. I'm going to back out of here. 73 K0RWB K8OFC.
Well, Ken, that's great, and I'm glad you had a chance to get to it. So give me your opinion of what your audio was once you heard it on YouTube.
I was pretty happy with it, I guess. You know, I'll never be happy with my audio, Randy.
Oh, I'm the same way. You know, and I've got to the point where when I listen to the playbacks, and when my wife goes, "Oh, that's you," then that's me. Like it or not, that's just me, and that's all you can really work for. I mean, we're only doing with 3KC. But anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you took the time to go look at it. And again, if you got any other questions or we get a chance to talk again, I'm an email away or we'll catch each other on the air. But I appreciate you taking the time. Really enjoyed having our conversation earlier, and I'm glad you got something out of it. And again, I'm sure we'll talk again real soon.
Oh, for sure. And no, it sounds really good. You sound really good. And just like I said, I'll check it out some more, and I'll get back with you for sure. 73's Randy, K8OFC.
Yeah, that sounds great. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 400. I'm so close. I'm trying to get to 400 by the end of the week, but no problem, Ken. Hey, thanks for chiming back in again. You know, if you get 4 contacts with me, you become a regular. So I'm putting it down as the second one. So you've got 2 more to go, and you're going to be one of my regulars. I look forward to it. Take care, Ken. Kilo Alpha 8 Oscar Foxtrot Charlie, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo 73. QRZ. Anybody else out there? We've got a couple minutes left.
Kilo Juliet 4 Zulu Mike Victor.
Oh, no, not that Zulu Mike Victor guy. Not again.
What's going on, Randy? Man, I tell you what, beautiful signal coming into Indiana. How you doing?
You know, better than some, worse than others. This is probably one of the best nights I've had in months. First off, the band has been open. It's relatively quiet. And there's just some great people out there tonight that have taken the time to say hi. Some have have been enlightened or have noticed a little bit on the live stream on YouTube. And yeah, we're having a great time. So how are things in your world?
Well, I tell you what, Randy, everything is beautiful here. And one of the most intriguing and beautiful events right now that's happening is that we're getting some rain. Oh my gosh! Listen, Randy, it hasn't rained here in over, I would say, probably almost 2 weeks now. And man, we need the rain. And I don't want to sound selfish because I know those guys out there in California or the western part of the country, they really need the rain out there for the fires. But we're getting it. But I wish that they would get some of it as well. But I tell you, I got you up on YouTube here, man, and I'm looking at your beautiful flag there, Roger.
Well, I appreciate that. This is Studio B. The wife was doing some late night work in the office next to Studio A, and we didn't want to bother her, so we have this equipment. This is our portable equipment. We were in Colorado last week. I don't know if I guess we didn't get a chance to connect, or if you knew we were out there or not. But anyway, the 7300 down here, we did tap into the 40-meter dipole that we use on Studio A. We just changed out a coax connector, and then we're running the Ten-Tech Hercules amplifier down here. But otherwise, and a new headset since I've talked to you. I got a new Heil Pro, I think it's called a Pro Elite headset. So nothing drastic, but it's worked for us down here.
It sounds really good. Very, very good audio, man. You always sound good anyway, so you're doing a great job coming into Indiana. Beautiful signal, too, man. Beautiful 5.9 plus here, so no problems at all copying your station. Every time I hear you out here, very, very bodacious. So, hey, enjoy. I'm not going to tie it up, Randy. I'm on my B station right now, too. I am actually on the 5,000, the FTDX 5,000. The other, the 101MP is on the other side. But something said this radio was calling me, so I had to keep this one down. But having a great time with it, great time. And, sometimes I just don't even want to go back to the 101 after playing with the FTDX 5,000 MP Limited, man. It's just a wonderful piece of equipment. But again, Randy, I'm not going to tie it up, my friend. All the best to you. God bless you and your family. And, hey, I will be checking with you later there, Roger.
It's great. Well, yeah, it's been a while, but probably a lot of it is because of me, because between weather and timing and equipment going down and so forth, we just haven't been out here as much as we'd like to. But no, certainly understand. There's no slouch in the 5,000. I mean, what a fallback rig, a 5,000. Oh, it hurts me. I did get a chance to play with the 101D. We were at HRO in Denver a week or so ago. We had a power supply that blew up. Not my fault. It was the electrician's contractor fault. So they did pay to replace it. So we went to HRO up in Denver, and they had a nice display of radios, and one of them was the 101D. And I almost opened up the wallet where the credit card was, but didn't quite pull it. I certainly couldn't have the same radio as you. We'd be two big boys on the block, and we'd have to figure out who was the best. And I just don't want that to happen. So I will say this: I've probably given out the audio settings at least 24 times. I talked with a young operator a week or so ago who just bought a 101D. And the first thing I suggested was, let me send you these audio settings. This guy is phenomenal. And he goes, okay, so you're out there, my friend, whether you like it or not.
Well, I'm glad that we're able to help the other operators, man. I don't know it all, but I did some tweaking, and I wrote everything down, and I said, you know what, this is it. So, and it works for me, and mostly everyone I gave those settings to, they're very happy too. So, well, good deal, good deal, Randy. I'm glad that you're putting me out there on the map, man. No doubt. Take care of yourself, my friend, and we'll certainly look for you again down the log there, Randy. Always a pleasure talking to you, and enjoy the rest of your evening too, my friend. K0RWB, KJ4, Zulu Mike Victor.
Well, I appreciate it, and 10 over, so we got another good signal. So, yeah, I wish I'd have remembered where I found that flag, but I thought it was stationary until I went live with it and it waved. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, we need to catch up. So we'll have a chance to chat again, I hope, and get a chance to get a little bit more in depth on some stuff. But for now, I'm glad you got a chance to get in there. We are at the top of the hour, so you know, nothing like sliding at the last minute, but that's all right. Anytime I hear the Zulu Mike Victor, I'll stop and we'll just chat, and the others will have to take a standby. So I'm not going to forget about my good friend here. So that's just the way it works. But you saved my tail when it came to audio, so I'm just trying to help it along. So anyway, you take care, and always a pleasure. And just give us a holler, just like you did. We'll do it again. KJ4 Zulu Mike Victor, Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. Take care, brother. Take care.
Take care, my friend. All the best to you there, bro. Take care. 7-3. KJ4 Zulu Mike Victor's clear.
Okay, this is Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. We've got time left for one more call. If anybody's out there, come with your call sign, please.
Whiskey Zero, X-Ray America.
Oh, let's see here. I got a Whiskey Zero X-Ray America.
Yeah, thanks for coming back to the call, Randy. It looks like the last time that we talked was somewhere in April. I don't think I have anything that's the same from the last time we talked, but you're 20 to 30 over here in Minnesota. Over.
Okay, Kevin. Yeah, we got April the 3rd on 40 meters, and we got April 29th on 40 meters. And I think you said nothing's the same, so it must be an improvement.
Well, I hope so. Instead of the Flex, I'm running the Anan now. I guess I do have the same amp. I'm still running the ACOM 1010, but everything else in here is kind of different. It's fun to, well, you know how it goes. It's fun to get different things and play with them. And, you know, these silly Anans are quite the thing to try to get the audio okay.
Well, you know, I've heard that, and I'm glad that you're working with it and not me. I don't know if I would have the patience for that, but again, congratulations, I guess we should say, right?
Yeah, that'll work. I think I'm running somewhere around 500 or 600 watts, driving it with 60. Actually, I do still have the end-fed half wave up there at 50 feet, so I'm using the same hunk of wire up there, and I don't plan on changing that too soon because it seems to be working okay for me.
Yeah, you know, I feel the same way. I've always wanted to, well, maybe if I move this up a little higher there or change this here, and I go, you know what, it's working too well, and I'm afraid that if I move it, I'll never get it back. So I'm just leaving it alone. And this is the most unusual setup for a 40-meter dipole, the way that the arms are pointed. And I'm just not going to mess with it. It works. But hey, I mean, you're anywhere from 5.9 to almost 20 over. So I think again we've got a great band condition. It's been like that all evening. We've been here for just about an hour and a half now, and I have not had a signal yet that's been under 5 and 9. So I can't remember the last time I've seen the band this open and this strong for a long, long time.
Well, I know it's definitely improved over that hour because I caught you, you know, when I sent that comment to you earlier, I couldn't hear you at all. So I decided to go sit outside with the dog and have a couple of beers, and then I came back in. All of a sudden, you're 20 over or more. So, yeah, the conditions definitely improved.
Yeah, I think so. I was fortunate. The first contact I had was Michigan, and we're close by, and a nice signal. We did get to Colorado. We've been to North Carolina, South Carolina, been to Mississippi twice, Minnesota. And we haven't, we've been to several in Ohio. I just got from my friend Terrence out in Ohio. And, yeah, so again, that's kind of what I like about 40 meters. You know, it's okay to to talk around the world, but there's lots of operators there within 600-700 miles that I generally wouldn't hear if it was 17 meters or 20, whatever. And I mean, these are great people on 40 meters, so I've got no problem staying right here. This is always a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite bands too. You can work some DX once in a while, but like you say, at this time of night, there's a ton of people out here, and it's just a lot of fun. So anyway, I know that I'm pretty sure there was a few others calling you when I called, so I'll put you in the logbook here again, and I will try to get back to you at least before 2-3 months like the last time.
Well, no, that's okay. A lot of it's probably on my end, just between timing. We had a little issue with the tower coming down with some weather and what have you, and then we were out in Colorado last week and a half running a little portable operations out there, and we were able to get to a few stations back in this area, a lot in Kansas and Lincoln, Nebraska. And we did get to Frederick and my friend out in South Carolina. I got to my friend Armando in New York, but like you and a lot of the stations I've talked with fairly regular, either the timing was off or the band was off on my side. But hey, it is what it is. So we're still making contacts, but yeah, I didn't anticipate it being quite as congested as it was. But the waterfall's got stations all up and down the band. But that's good. We found an open spot. I don't think we've bothered anybody tonight, and that's the way it works. But yeah, don't be a stranger. Again, we'll connect. And I did appreciate some of the inputs here on the chat. And I had a feeling that the band would open up and what have you, that things will come back around, and sure enough, they did. So be safe and be well. Thanks for giving us a call this evening, and hopefully we'll chat again real soon. Whiskey 0, X-Ray Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Okay, brother. I'll give you a holler whenever I hear you. So have a good one and stay safe, like you said. And K0RWB from W0XA 73.
You bet. Thanks again, 73. QRZ, any other stations?
Kilo Charlie 9, Delta Bravo Alpha.
Well, how can I pass that one up? Kilo Charlie 9, Delta Bravo Alpha. Hey, Bruce, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, Randy. I've been sitting here listening to you for a good while. And, man, I just want you to know for a solid 30 minutes, you're 20 over in the southern Illinois. Man, the rig sounds really, really good.
Well, I appreciate that. I planned it that way. I just want you to know. I put a couple extra quarters in, so it opened the band up for me.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to put a quarter in, too, because that's worth 75.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll put it right back to you as well. I've got 2 meters, one on the radio and one up here on the live stream, and it shows you 20 over as well. So, I have not seen the band be this open for this long, and gosh, probably 3 or 4 months. It's just been crazy tonight.
Man, I know it. I sat in here last night, and man, it was horrible. Here, or it was here anyways. But boy, tonight it's been awesome. I don't get to do this a whole lot because I always work, and we just got back from vacation. I thought, well, I'm gonna fire the rig up a little bit, and man, I kid you not, for the last 25-30 minutes, it's been a solid 20 over here in southern Illinois. Excellent job.
Well, I was just going to ask, did you lose a bet and you had to listen to me that long, or was there something out there?
Well, no, I sat here and listened because I threw my call out there 3 or 4 times, and then which there was several big signals coming in here, but you've been the highest so far.
Well, I appreciate your patience and persistence. When I started this months and months ago, I said, this is not a contest. It's not 5 QRZ, and you really can't do 10, 15, 20-minute QSOs. I try to grab them the best I can and work them when I can hear them and so forth. And maybe there's a better way of getting it down, but I try to be very respectful of everybody's time and try to give everybody equal time. My thinking is if you're going to take time to call, then we want to have a conversation. And I'm trying, you try to find that middle ground, so to speak. But I appreciate your patience. I'm glad you hung in there, and I'm glad we got a chance to chat.
Oh, yes, sir. And if I ain't mistaken, I heard you say that you're running the IC7300. Is that correct?
Yeah, down here in Studio B, as they call it, we've got the 7300. We did tap into our 40-meter dipole that we use up in Studio A, the upstairs location, and then the amplifier down here is an old Tentec Hercules 2 solid state amp, and we're doing about maybe 4 to 450 on peaks.
Yeah, man, sounds very good. I'm also running a 7300. I am on a ground-mounted 6 BTV Hustler ground-mounted vertical, and probably don't have as many ground radios as probably what I need, but I've got 16 on it right now. One of these days I'm going to add some more to it, but man, yeah, excellent job. Sounds really good, and I'm sure there's more wanting to holler at you, so I won't hold you up, Randy. I just had to tell you how good you sounded, and the signal that's coming in here is phenomenal. So, hey, man, 713 is very nice to meet you. Glad I finally got through to you, and I will definitely check out your YouTube. Where I'm at right now, I do not have computer access, but I will check out that YouTube video. I've been sitting and copying some stuff here, but man, good to meet you, Randy. 732, and anytime I hear you, I'll holler at you. K0RWB, this is KC9DBA in Southern Illinois, 73.
Well, I appreciate it, Bruce, and yeah, thank you for taking the time, and yeah, give a look and a listen on the channel there. You can listen to it all or fast forward up to I think maybe about an hour 42, hour 40, somewhere around there is about where we started. Give a look and listen. I did want to make one comment before you go and give me your feedback. Are you using a stock mic or are you using a different microphone?
I am running a Howe PR781.
Okay, so you're running 781. And can you tell me quickly what is your settings for your mic gain, and are you running any compression?
I'm running this through a W2IHY 8-band equalizer and an EQ plus. Mic gain on the radio is set at about 55. Am I a little hot?
No, I didn't. I'm not asking it at all. I just, every time there's a 7300, I'm just curious about what people's settings are at, and if they're running. I've heard several 73s with stock mics, and I wouldn't have believed it. But I mean, they just sounded terrific. I'm running the Heil Pro Elite headset on this tonight, and I'm not discounting or anything. Nothing wrong with the audio whatsoever. I was just curious what you want. But if you run an EQ plus, then you get everything going through the board. So I totally get it.
Yeah, I won't lie to you. It was kind of a bear to set up, but I've talked to Julius, a few times, and he hasn't steered me wrong. And I've tweaked it a little bit, and I can hear it through some headphones and stuff. I hope I got it set about right. I might be just a little bit bassy. I don't know that for sure, but I work construction for a living, so I'm around a bunch of big high-power fans that's about taking some of my hearing away from me.
Okay, well, here's what I'd like for you to do. When you get a chance where you can go back and listen to our QSO on my channel, I have my radio display. It's a third-party radio display, but it has signal strength. It also shows an audio scope, which shows your voice inflection, and it has an audio spectrum. Now, that's going to show your audio peaks and valleys. And I'd like for you to listen to our QSO and just watch where your audio highs and lows are going, and then you can decide if it sounds good, you will make changes or leave it alone. It doesn't matter to me, but at least this way you'll actually get to see versus hearing to see where you're actually at.
Yeah, I will do that. As a matter of fact, as soon as me and you in this QSO, I am going to go to the other room and I am going to get on there and I'm going to check that out.
Okay, because what is on my screen does not show hardly any bass whatsoever. It shows a good level of mids and a valley, and then it shows a good level of highs around 2.25 to 2.50, and then from about 1.25 to about 1.75 your mids, but I'm not showing anything on the low end. again, maybe that's different on your end. I'm just telling you what I see, and I'm not discounting it whatsoever. I'm not suggesting you make changes or anything. You can be the judge of that, but I just wanted to tell you what I see on my side.
Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah, and I appreciate that. I did add a little bit of bass to it just then. I don't know that you can tell or not. I'm kind of sitting in a weird angle here where I can't see everything. I'm kind of got my feet kicked back up here on the desk.
No, that's fine. You should relax. Take the night off. I don't want you stressing or fretting over this. I'm just going to tell you what I see that's on my audio spectrum scope here, and you can look at it yourself, of course. But anyway, yeah, give a look and a listen, see what you think. I think it sounds good in my receive. Again, what I hear in my headphones on myself sounds terrible, but it seems to sound okay on the air, and it sounds better on the playback. So you can do with it what you will. No big deal. If you have a chance to go to it, you like what you see and so forth, you're certainly welcome to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell, and then the next time I go live and you're out and about, you'll know that we're live, and we'll have a chance to chat again.
Sounds good. Well, it's been good to meet you, Randy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to slide out of here, and I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to take a browse at that and study on it a little bit. And yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to check that out. Hey, Randy, I'm going to let you go, brother. It's good talking to you. 7-3s to you, and look forward to talking to you again. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Delta Bravo Alpha.
Yeah, it sounds great, Bruce. Appreciate it very much. And again, I've enjoyed it. I also have a PR 781 upstairs from other rigs, so I know the radio and I know the microphone. Hey, you enjoy your evening. Thank you for taking the time. I'm glad you got a chance to get through. Again, it wasn't like we were trying to ignore you. It just kind of is what it is. So look forward to again. And by all means, I'm an email away. If you got any questions or something that I might be able to help with, you can always welcome. I'm good in QRZ. Send me an email. But you get a chance later, give a look and a listen to the channel. I think you'll enjoy it. I enjoy doing this. I hope people do as well. You take care and look forward to having a chance to chat again. Kilo Charlie 9 Delta Bravo Alpha Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Take care, Bruce. 7-3s. Okay, QRZ. Any other stations before we cut it off? Okay, I did hear a Golf Echo station. I know it's not much. Golf Echo?
Kilo Charlie 0 Juliet Golf Echo.
Kilo Charlie 0 Golf Juliet Echo. Sounds like Andy.
Roger, it's Juliet Golf Echo. Juliet Golf Echo. It's Andy in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Yeah, it is Andy in Rapid City, South Dakota. Well, you know, I got to South Dakota last week, but I had to be in Colorado to do it. So now I'm glad that I'm sitting here in the Kansas City area making a contact into the area. Nice to hear the Rapid City area. Again, the name here is Randy, QTH, 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, Roger, Randy, in Kansas City. Yeah, you got a really good signal. You're 15 over 9 here into Rapid City tonight. We got some storms moving in from the southwest, so not going to be able to stay on too long, but we can sure appreciate the rain right now.
Yeah, you know, a lot of places are like that, and I'm hoping you get a good, nice, soft rain. No hard weather. You know, nobody wants to see those big storms. I will say this: we were in Hermosa. This would have been 4 years ago, right outside of Custer State Park. I'm sure you know where Hermosa is. We were staying at campgrounds out there. It rained so hard. We had our diesel coach, and it actually washed out our levelers underneath our coach. It had rained through the campground so hard. We were without power for about 3 or 4 hours. I've never seen rain come down that hard.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, when we get storms out here, we get them pretty bad. I'm just hoping that this stuff that's moving through is not going to bring any hail. We need a pretty good soak up here. So if it's coming out of the southwest, you never know. But any kind of moisture we can get right now is appreciated because it's been a really, really bad dry year.
Yeah, you know, I've heard that. like I said, we were out in Colorado Springs, Colorado, the last 10 days, visiting family and friends, and we had a vehicle issue. We were supposed to be up in Rapid City starting on the 3rd through the 6th, and then we were going to spend a couple of days out in the Badlands, but we had vehicle issues that didn't allow us to get up there, so we spent our time in Colorado Springs. Not really a bad thing when you've got great weather sitting at 7,000 feet there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, last week was a pretty nice week, especially for the rally. We were pretty warm. We broke some records yesterday. I think we got up to 107 degrees here in Rapid City yesterday. So usually when the rally comes to town, we get some pretty bad thunderstorms and a lot of hailstorms. So that didn't happen this year, and I hope it don't happen right now. But we sure could use the moisture.
Yeah, I hope you guys do. I know there's, like I said, a lot of parts of the country that are really, really dry. We've got some the friends that are out in Mount Vernon, South Dakota, out east, of course, and they're looking for rain as well. We just got a little one here the other night. We're certainly green enough. We'd like to be able to share it, but I don't know how we could get it any directions or what have you. But like I said, I hope you get a good, nice, gentle rain. Nothing really strong. I'm hoping a lot of the country would start getting some moisture here pretty soon. But hey, I want to ask you real quick though on the working condition. I've got your page pulled up, and it looks like a Yaesu 891. Is that what you're working with tonight? There, go ahead.
Negative. I actually purchased an Icon 7300. A 7300. I'm running it into a home-brewed G5 RV with just 100 watts in a wire. I don't have an amplifier, so I'm a pretty simple station here. I got the 891 as a backup.
Yeah, you got to have backups. A great rig too, by the way, the 891. Well, congrats on the 7300. The reason I asked that, the audio is just terrific, and a good signal as well. You're a good 10 over in my receiver. We're running a 7300 here tonight as well, with a 40-meter dipole, about 38 foot off the side of the tower. We are running a Heil Pro Elite headset. We are running a little power, though. We're running an old Ten-Tech Hercules 2, about 400 to maybe 450 on peaks, but it does seem to work well. But, yeah, you've got a great signal coming into the Kansas City area. And I don't think, other than when I was in Colorado, I've had any other contacts into Rapid City. So maybe we're starting a new trend there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I've got an heat tip. I think it's an SD 200 that my dad gave me, and he brought it all the way from Kentucky up here to me, so I couldn't tell him to take it back home, but I just kind of refuse to use the amp. I get out all over the world with the 100 watts in the wire, so why change anything? My G5 RV is only about 23 foot off the ground, so I'd like to raise it a little bit, but other than that, it's just 100 watts in the wire, and it's been good to go here.
Wow, that's great. Well, good for you. Again, you know, conditions help us a lot, and a lot of times the configuration of antennas and the equipment makes all the difference as well. Yeah, as well as you're working, I don't think I would change anything easier. You know, I think that's really great. It never ceases to amaze me here on 40 meters just how well 100 watts on a wire works. Even if you're down in a valley, like my friend over in Kentucky was earlier. He had hills on both sides and running a vertical and still able to get out and make contact. So, you know, that's a great thing about the hobby there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I've got something going for me though. I'm not in town, so I'm about 2 miles from the airport off of 44. So I don't have any electrical noise or anything like that. It doesn't faze me unless we have some storms around. I get the static crashes. But other than that, I have no noise. So usually if I can hear them, I can talk to them.
Yeah, that's a great. You know, we're kind of that way too. If I can hear you, I generally can work you. Yeah, and I'm sure you're right. Being outside of town, away from the noise, probably helps you quite a bit. Well, my logging program will show grids. It doesn't get any closer than that, so I see exactly where your grid is at. And it looks, you said you're not too far from 44. We've been down that road a few times as well, and been past the airport. So we know the area. Great location. And yeah, again, I hope you guys are able to get some rain. I'm sure it's quite dry for you.
Well, I do appreciate that. Yeah, my plans was to put a tower up out here because I've got a little over 3 acres of land, but my wife put a stop to that. So I just operate with what I got. I do appreciate you picking me up. Like I said, you got a really good signal into here. I'm not going to hold it any longer. I don't know how long you're going to stay on, but got quite a few stations calling you. So I'll say 73s, and hopefully we can talk from the bands again.
Well, Andy, I appreciate it very much. Thank you for giving us a call. Yeah, we were supposed to shut it down 25 minutes ago, but you know, I just kind of hate to let it go when there's so many stations out there and the signals are so strong. But I've run out of quarters, and I'm afraid that the machine's going to shut me off here any time. So, but I'll end it with you, and what a great way to end it, talking with you out of Rapid City. We do appreciate it very much. Hopefully we'll have a chance to chat again. I don't know if you've been listening, if you heard earlier, we're also doing this live on YouTube. It does record, so if you're interested in listening to our QSO, see how you sound on the air, you can go to YouTube, put in my call in the search bar, K0RWB, and look for the video with today's date. And you could probably fast forward to about an hour 50 in, give or take. We've been out here for 2 hours. And give a look and a listen, see what you think. If not, no big deal. Hopefully we'll have a chance to chat again. Always nice to get into that part of the world. We'll be thinking about you. Hopefully you guys get some rain. You take care and be safe tonight. Hopefully you won't get no wally, well, they call them wall gushers. Hopefully you get a nice gentle rain. We'll say 7-3s for now. Kilo Charlie 0, Juliet Golf Echo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Andy. 7-3s.
Yeah, Roger. I'll check your YouTube deal and see what I sound like on the radio. Do appreciate you picking me up, and you and your family be safe. K0RWB, KC0JGE, 73.
All right, 7-3. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. We're going to be clear, and QRT, the frequency is now